Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. It's time for another Two for Tuesday. It's a special Two for Tuesday because it is Christmas Eve. So before I go any further, I just want to wish all the members of the Knife Delights viewing community a very, very Merry Christmas. It's that time of year. Everyone's in a good mood. It's cheerful. It's jolly. Ho, ho, ho. I'm hiding my inner Scrooge. Bah, humbug. Well, okay, let's just get on with the review here on this Two for Tuesday. An easy open tag I invite all channels to participate in. Just grab a couple of knives and talk about them. And what I have here is a new to me Buck 301 Stockman. I know, who'd have thunk it, right? Another Stockman? What? Knife Delights? A 301? Well, yes. And this is a special one. This was sent to me by a viewer named Ross. We did a little bit of a knife exchange, and this is one of the models that I've been looking for. This is in-house Buck-made 301 Stockman, and it is from 1990. And the reason I really wanted this knife is because it kind of confirms the question, or confirms the answer to the question, when did Buck switch from using 2 back springs to using 3 back springs? So this is a 1990 model right here, and this is a 1989 model. So in 89, 2 springs, 90, 3 springs. Now I'm only going to estimate that it's the 89 to 90 time period because there could have been some overlap. So someone could, I guess, possibly get one stamped from 1990 that still only had the 2 springs. Who knows? But it's the 89 to 90 time frame when it seems like Buck switched. And so what's the difference here? Well, the clip point blade is pretty much the same blade you're always going to see on these Buck made. There's the X, the date stamp there, meaning 1990. But if you look here, look at the sheep's foot. On the 2 spring, the sheep foot folds out along the same end as the clip point, and with the 3 spring, it folds out the opposite end. So that is the big difference. Now I've discussed this before. What this does is each blade now has its own spring, and it allows this to come out straight out the end, so it's 90-degree angle both ways. And that is important because with 2 springs they have to cant this blade, or they got to bend it just a little bit to get it to fit down in here. So if we look at them, you can see there's just a little bit of a cant to this one, and actually it doesn't show up quite so bad on this one. But if you look at your case knives and 2 other Stockmans from other companies that just have the 2 springs, you'll notice a pretty good cant on that sheep's foot, because they got to get it room to fold down in there. Well, what this does, as you can see, is it sandwiches that sheep's foot in between the 2 other springs, and it gives it a little bit of added strength down here. And when you do a draw cut, again, 90 degree, so it's a straight line. If you have one that's canted, you almost have to turn and just slightly to try to adjust for that cant in the blade when you're trying to do a straight cut. So that is one of the purposes and one of the reasons and differences in the 3 spring versus the 2 spring. Now, Buck is not the first company to use 3 springs. I know there's an older case model Stockman that came out with 3 springs, but it didn't last very long, I don't think, and they went back to just using the 2. So this 301 up here, the 1989, this one is in the red jig bone. I've shown this one before. Just a beautiful knife. You can see the extra thick liner over here that they used in brass. Just a beautiful knife. The fit and finish on this is just outstanding. Totally smooth. Great transitions. They did just a wonderful job with this knife. So your standard buck Stockman blades, clip point sheep's foot, and the spay. A little bit of oil there, isn't there? Okay. Now I want to bring this up was on one of my buck videos. I've had a couple comments on the last couple buck videos, and with people that were unhappy with the fit and finish of their buck knives, and actually one was edge retention on the steel on one of the early buck fixed blades, and another one ordered someone's a knife from the custom shop and had I think stag handles put in, and the complaint was that the transition didn't match up and just thought it was a sloppy job. And well, all I can say about that is I don't care what company's out there manufacturing things, you're going to have some lemons every now and then. It has not been my experience that they've had bad fit and finish, but it does happen. I know Big J got a 112, I think, full Ranger, and it had a terrible blade grind to it. He just couldn't believe how terrible. And, Buck's always been kind of well known for coming sharp out of the box and having a good grind to them, but you know what? Every now and then, I suppose one's going to make it out, and it's just a lemon. The good thing is Buck does have a good forever warranty. So if there's a problem with the manufactured product, they will replace it, no questions asked. If that model is still available, if that model is still not being made and they can't fix it or replace it, they'll send you back something comparable. Now, if you're using your knife in a manner you shouldn't be using it, like trying to pry open paint can lids with a blade, and you break it, well, guess what? That's on you. Knives aren't meant for prying. Another change here, or no, it hasn't changed yet. Sometime later on in the 90s, and I'll have to pull out another one of these, but as you can see, the older bucks here do have a flat grind to them. And they did switch to a hollow grind. You can see the grind lines in there, and I love that. See those grind lines? I just love to see those. Yeah. So, just another wonderful addition to my Buck 301 collection. I get to learn more. So again, we've learned probably 1989 to 1990 is the time frame when we went from 2 to 3 springs. Well, once again, everybody, thank you for watching, and have a very Merry Christmas. Let's say go out and have a very delightful Christmas.